Okay. Shalom, shalom. All right, you all. So we are going to go officially into why Yahushua was so upset with the scribes and Pharisees that you find in Matthew chapter 23, because this is the amount of alterations via removals, deletions, and additions, and moving vowel points and all kinds of stuff. It really changes the way people understand what they read. Okay. And then you get all these other doctrines and things from areas that are not true. So let's go ahead and pray. Abba Yah, I pray in Yahushua's name that this message will go forth in power, with clarity, with humility, with a haba, with hukmah, wisdom, with bina and da'at, knowledge and understanding, and everything that your people need. Give us, Abba, so that we are no longer a generation of people who are led astray. For indeed, there is a famine of your word throughout the earth, the true word, the unadulterated word. And we have been given lies even within the scriptures from scribes who were lying about what you were really saying. Abba, Toda Rabbah, for leading us on this path, on this journey to restoration, to the restoration of your word that has been kept hidden by those who did not want to acknowledge you, for those who did not want to acknowledge your prophecies, that for those who did not want to acknowledge your identity and all these things that pertain to you. Hallelujah, that you're bringing us back and you are giving us sound, complete, thorough understanding by bringing back the restoration of your word in this last hour, in this season, as we draw close to the year of Jubilee. Toda Rabbah. Thank you so much, Abba. B'Shem Yehushua HaMashiach HaNazari. Amen. Okay, so this is what they changed, you all. I read to you in that video about the word Heikal, just to focus on that word primarily to let you know that the king gets married in the temple, and that obviously in order to be in the temple you have to be a priest. So these are priest kings and priest in the temple, both male and female, attending the wedding, okay, of the priest king, high priest king. And I read it to you. I read Psalm 45, but I told you all in that video I was tired when I read it. It was like my first time really reading it. And I was just sleepy. I didn't catch it. And I caught it the next day. And when I caught it, boy, okay, this confirmed like everything that Yah had directed me to do in April. When he told me, like he expressly told me, look up King Hiram of Zor, of Tyre. Look up the city of Tyre. And I'm just like, well, why do I need to look that up? Right? Okay. And remember, if you look at my past video on Psalm 45, where I'll go and break it down. Okay, we're going to break it down even more because it's very simple. When you read it from the Peshitta, because Peshitta preserves what the actual original Hebrew says before the Masoretic ones altered the text in Ibri. Okay, they took out words, they added words, they rearranged some words in Ibri. They just look. I don't blame Yahushua at all. Shame on those scribes. Okay, those lying scribes. Okay, and they're gonna get the lake of fire. That's for sure. Okay, let's start at verse 8. See, this is what I have with me right here. This is the interlinear that I was telling you about. That's in Aramaic. And okay, hopefully that's clear. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what it actually reads and what it actually says. All right, let's start at verse 8 because I'm gonna show you what it says in most of your Bibles that you have. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Let me go to, I'm on, well, I'm going to keep that blue letter Bible up. Let's go to Bible Hub and just pull up this verse. Okay? So I'm gonna tell you the way it reads. So most of your Bibles that you have, that we have access to as English readers, okay? Um, we're gonna look at what it says there, and then you tell me what makes more sense, right? Okay, I'm gonna look at verse 8. I'm gonna focus on verse 8 here. Nope, not that verse. Okay, verse 8. Okay, now the NIV, the nearly inspired version, called the New International Version, reads, "All your robes are fragrant with myrrh and aloes and cassia. From palaces adorned with ivory, the music of the strings make you glad." The ESV, the English Standard Version, says, "Your robes are all fragrant with myrrh and aloes and acacia. From ivory palaces, string instruments make you glad." The Berean Standard Bible says, "All your garments are fragrant with myrrh and aloes and cassia. From palaces of ivory, the harps make you glad." The KJV reads, "All thy garments smell of myrrh and aloe and acacia out of the ivory palaces whereby they have made thee glad." Okay, now let's go down to the Aramaic. Now, this is the two Aramaic ones. Lamsa and the Peshitta Holy Bible Translated reads, the Lamsa reads this way: "All your garments smell of myrrh and aloes and cassia out of the magnificent temple whereby they have made you glad." The Peshitta reads, "Myrrh and cassia and storax make all your garments fragrant from the excellent temple, and from my presence they have gladdened you." All right? So, that right there, the Aramaic lets you know that it's not ivory palaces. Okay, they changed the vowel point. I want to see if I can get a sheet of paper. They changed the vowel point. The word there is hakel. The root word is, I'm not hakel, hakal, hakal. The root word is hakal. But they changed on the Masoretic text, they changed the vowel point to make it plural. And then they translate it as palaces. When if you just the way if you didn't have any vowel points there, it would read something like my temple, right? Um myrrh, fragrant from my temple, my excellent temple. Okay. They essentially change the vowel points to make it seem like it's talking about palaces when it's only talking about the temple. And the Aramaic confirms here, because the Aramaic doesn't have those vowel points. Okay. Um, the Aramaic confirms here that it's temple. Okay. Let me see if I can see it from here. Hold on. Okay, that's the word for temple. He, Hekala. Hekala. All right. So we see here that the king, his garments are fragrant from being in the temple, right? In the temple, you do what? What does a high priest do? A high priest burns incense, and that incense is going to contain myrrh and cassia and other spices. You see that used often in the temple. So only the high priest or whatever priest is serving in the holy place can burn incense, right? I also showed how those myrrh and acacia were also used for his burial. He was given um, when Yeshua's body was being, anointed, and they covered the white linen with spices. Those spices were myrrh, a lot of myrrh. I went in a video about the bride price. Go to my bride price video for more information on this. They covered him with the incense blends of the temple. His body was covered with that, and so his clothes smell of that, obviously. And yeah, check this out. The next verse. Okay, this is how most of your versions read in verse 9. All right, but I'm going to tell you what it reads in the Aramaic, from the Aramaic. The NIV, the nearly inspired version, says, "Daughters of kings are among your honored women, as your right hand is the royal bride in gold of Ophir." Um, the English Standard Version says, "Daughters of kings are among your ladies of honor, as your right hand stands the queen in gold of Ophir." The Berean Standard Bible reads, "The daughters of kings are among your honored women. The queen stands at your right hand, adorned with the gold of Ophir." And the KJV reads, "King's daughters were among your honorable women. Upon your right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir." Okay, and this is what you're going to find pretty much on most of your translations until you get to the Aramaic. All right, the Aramaic versions read like this. From the Lamsa Bible, it reads, "The king's daughter stands in glory. The queen stands. The queen stands at your right hand in gold of Ophir." Okay? And the Peshitta Holy Bible translated reads, "The daughter of the king stood in glory, and the queen at your right hand in clothing of gold of Ophir." Now see, this version, the Aramaic version, just says daughter, okay, of the king. So if we look at the Ibri, okay, I'm going to Blue Letter Bible. I'm going to look at the Ibri here. Look at this right here. This word is similar, which is like uh, baroth or barath. Okay, it's similar to the benoth. Now they pronounce it benoth. Now listen, you could change one. You could change one letter, Hebrew letter, and it could mean from going. It can go from being singular to being plural, just one. Um, and the same thing, you see that the Masoretic text says benoth me lakim. But I'm going to show you that even the Masoretic text in that generation describes altered things. Okay? Because the Aramaic just lets you know that it's just the daughter of the king. One daughter is talking about the daughter and then the queen. Okay? That's verse 9. Let's go down to verse 12. But first, I'm going to read to what it says from verse 10 through 12 in the KJV, and then I'm going to read to you what it says verse 10 through 12 in the Peshitta. And then you tell me what the difference is, okay? Listen, okay? Verse 10. "Hearken, O daughter, and consider. Incline your ear, and forget also your own people and your father's house. So shall the king greatly desire your beauty, for he is your Adon. Worship you him." Verse 12. "The daughter of Tyre shall be there with a gift. Even the rich among the people shall entreat your favor." And then I'm going to add verse 13 for the sake of it. "The king's daughter is all glorious within. Her clothing is of wrought gold." Okay? So when you read this, you see a portion that's directly addressing the daughter, the woman who will be queen, and she's given direction in verse 11, okay, to worship him, right? And then the next verse talks about the daughter of Tyre, like out of nowhere, it talks about the daughter of Tyre, you know, with a gift. and the rich among the people will entreat her favor, right? Because your favor is feminine singular in the Ibri. But let me show you what they did. Let's go down to verse 12. They took out a verb because this verse has two sentences, but they took out a word. But the Aramaic preserved the word. Okay, here it goes. Ubatzor beminha pa nayik ye halu ashire am. Okay, so the first part, and daughter of Zor, and then it says be minha. So there it says daughter of Zor with a gift, an offering. It's a word for like offering, giving an offering. So where's the verb? Does that sound right? Because you see, even in Ibri, something like that would have something like, if it was like, if the sentence was supposed to be like the daughter of Zor is she with a gift, it would have said something like Ubath Zor he be, or it would say this probably Ubath Zor he asher be minha, which would be the daughter of Zor is she with a gift. All right, but that's not what it says. There's no Ibri verb in this portion. None. So what verb is missing? Now I'm going to tell you what it reads in the other versions, and then we're going to read what the Aramaic says, okay, for verse 12. But I read 10 through 13 to give you a better context. Oh my goodness, check this out. The nearly inspired version, NIV, says, the city of Zor will come with a gift. People of wealth will seek your favor. The English Standard Version says, the people of Tyre will seek your favor with gifts, the richest of the people. The Berean Standard Bible says, the daughter of Tyre will come with a gift. Men of wealth will seek your favor. The KJV reads, the daughter of Tyre, and then they add to this portion, they add, shall be there with a gift. And they add, even the rich among the people shall entreat your favor. All right? So, because there's no verb there, people filled in what they wanted to fill in to try to make, they tried to do their best to make it make sense. You even see in the Christian Standard Bible, the daughter of Tyre, the wealthy people, will seek your favor with gifts. Right? But they took out the verb. This is what it really says. Are you ready for this? The Aramaic preserves the word, the original word that was used. Here's the Lamsa Bible. And the daughter of Tyre shall worship him. Even the rich among the people shall seek your presence with gifts. Okay? I'll read that again. And the daughter of Tyre shall worship him. Even the rich among the people shall seek your, that's feminine singular, presence with gifts. This one reads, and the daughter of Zor shall worship him. With offerings your face will seek the rich of the people. He was trying to stay in line to what it actually says, but it's the actual like Hebrew idiom. The way the word seek means to like entreat. It really means, let's go to the word. Okay, let me take my time here. The word that is used that they refer to is ye halu, they shall entreat. It's from the word of kala, hala. Okay, not hala or kala. I'm not saying kala. I'm saying ha, like a hit. Hala. And it really means to like to become weak, to become ill, to become sick. Okay, so you become weak, and you. So in the way it's being used, it's like saying your face. Okay, like your face Um, your face, that's feminine singular, um, shall weaken. Like the it's pretty much a way of saying the rich people will come and be like, coming to her presence with gifts. They want to give an offering. They they're coming to her with an offering. Okay, they want to come to her with the offering. They're coming to who? I just read it, right? The daughter of Tyre, of Zor, okay, the daughter of Zor, shall worship him. Okay, what did verse 11 just say? Read it. I'm going to read it from the KJV. So shall the king greatly desire your beauty, for he is your Adon, meaning your Lord, your Adon, and worship you him. And then the real verse in the Aramaic says, the daughter of Tyre shall worship him. That right there should let you know who the king's daughter is being referred to. I've said it in my other videos that Yah had led me to understand that there was a covenant made between King Hiram of Zor, of Tyre, and between King Solomon. Because King Hiram of Zor spent 20 years building the temple and the palaces of the king for King Solomon and for Dawid as well. And they made a brotherly covenant with each other. And in exchange, obviously, I mentioned in my other videos that meant that there would be exchange of sons and daughters. King Solomon gave a bride price to King Hiram of Zor. You'll see in 2 Kings. King Solomon gives King Hiram of Tyre, of Zor, he gives him 20 cities in Galilee. He gives him 20 cities in Galilee. And Yah revealed to me that was his bride price in exchange for the daughter of Zor, the king's daughter of Zor, King Hiram's daughter of Zor. To get his daughter, he gave a bride price. And because I told you about the tribe that King Hiram is from, he gives him those lands in the land of Naphtali, those 20 cities in around the area of the Sea of Galilee. All right. So right there, it tells you, we know that the gold of Ophir was retrieved by King Hiram of Zor's crew, who went out to Ophir and got the gold and brought it back to Jerusalem to give to King Solomon so they can build the temple and the palaces, from the wood, the gold, the stones, everything. Go back and read that in 2 Kings, what was done. Okay. But hopefully this makes things clear that the queen in Gold of Ophir is the daughter of Tyre. She is told in verse 11, okay, in the Peshitta, she is told that, I want to just read it. She is told, for the king will be ravished with your beauty because he is your dawn. Worship him. And the daughter of Zor shall worship him with offerings. Okay. The rich people will entreat you, essentially will entreat her face, okay, her presence. Your face will seek the rich of the people. He was trying to, it's like I said, it's a Hebrew idiom. He could have reworded it a little bit better to show that it's the rich people are entreating or begging for favors from her presence, given that she's the to-be queen, the bride of the king. And then verse 13, in the Aramaic Peshitta, all the glory of the king's daughter is from within. She has woven her clothing in fine gold. She will go with offerings. It's the same word again as a gift. She will go with a gift or with offerings to the king, and the virgins will bring her train. Okay, it's the train that a bride, a woman wearing a bridal dress will have after her, and they will go in joy and sweetness, and they will enter the temple of the king. Okay, this is where the wedding is taking place. Verse 16, instead of your fathers will be your sons. Okay, it's talking about the sons from this marital kingdom marriage union. Instead of your fathers will be your sons. He has made them rulers, talking about the king, obviously talking about the high priest king. He has made them rulers in all the earth. For your name will be remembered in every generation. Therefore, the nations shall confess you to the eternities of eternities. Okay, see, now you know who the king's daughter really is. From reading it from the Peshitta Holy Bible translated, and even reading from the Lamsa Bible, okay, which is the Peshitta, another version of the Peshitta Bible translated by a native Aramaic speaker, okay, George Lamsa, you see here that the king's daughter is referring to the daughter of Tyre, or daughter of Zor, who is of the king Hiram. Okay, and it's, they changed it. They took out a whole sentence. They took out "shall worship him" out of the Masoretic text. Took it out, but the Aramaic preserved it. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees. Okay, anyway, that's it. And just meditate on that. That's just wild. That's crazy. So now you actually know who the king's daughter is. It says in the text, they changed it, they tried to hide it. We know now, clear as day, it's the daughter of Tyre. Okay? Period, point blank. All right. With that, I say, shalom. Shalom.